Hi, and welcome to the video walkthrough of AIRace. Once you have the game folder downloaded, open it and run AIRace. Here you can select your display resolution and graphics quality. If you have an older computer, I suggest lowering your graphics quality. When loaded in, you're going to be presented with the home screen. Here you can open learning mode, open racing mode, open the help section, or quit the game. In the help section, you can read about the controls of the car or read about the various modes. To return, just simply press the main menu button. To play the game, open racing mode. Here you're going to see two options, time trial and competition. You can also return home by pressing the main menu button. When you open time trial, you're going to see a selection of cars, each with their own characteristics. When you click on a car, it will show up on the right hand side along with the start game button. Click on that and you will be loaded into the game. Here you're going to see a countdown timer, and once it finishes, your car controls will be activated, your timer will start, and when you cross the finish line, your lap timer will go up along with the best time and current counters. On the bottom right hand side of the screen, you're going to see your speed, and to pause the game, simply press the escape button. Here you'll be able to resume the game, open the help section, return to main menu, or quit the game. Within racing mode, you will also find competition. Here you can select the amount of laps you want to do with a slider, and you can select the car like you did previously. When you're loaded into the game, you're going to see three other opponents. One of them is a pre-trained genetic algorithm, another one is pre-trained backpropagation algorithm, and the third one is a Unity pathfinding AI. On the left hand side of the screen, you're going to see your position counter, and on the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see your lap counter as before. When you cross the finish line, you'll be presented with this screen from where you can return to the main menu. Learning mode is where you can observe and experiment with the training process of the genetic and backpropagation algorithms. Selecting the genetic mode will show up the following attributes. The mutation probability changes how often the child will be mutated. The fitness value changes how the fitness of the children should be calculated, and there are three types: distance, drive time, and lap time. You can find more details about these in the user manual. The population changes how many children are born with each generation, and the sensor length is the length of the sensors of the cars. Like always, you can select the car by clicking on it, and you can begin by clicking the start learning button. Once loaded in, you will begin to see the car learning to drive around the track autonomously. On the right hand side of the screen, you'll see the current speed, current time, and best time as usual. Children are killed once the car either crashes or the car is stationary for a certain amount of time. On the left hand side of the screen, you'll see various attributes pertaining to the algorithm, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to fast forward until the car is fully trained. Now that the car is somewhat trained, we can see how it works. It uses 5 sensors to see the distance from the car to objects on the track, and uses them as inputs for the neural network. On the left hand side, you will see the mutation probability, which we set earlier, the current generation, and the two most fit parents from the previous generation. The current child is the child that's currently driving the car, and the steering and engine values are the outputs of the neural network. This is the current fitness value, and the population, which is what we set earlier on. Here's a list of the children that have already died in the population. Down the bottom, you will see a timescale slider. This slider changes the speed at which the game can run, and henceforth you can increase the speed at which the car is learning to drive around the track. Down the very bottom, you will see the next child button, which will kill the current child and go straight to the next child once you click it. Opening up the pause menu, you can return back to main menu, or else you can continue as usual. Selecting backpropagation will show the following attributes. Learning rate is the smoothing rate to stop the weight going in big chaotic steps, and the number of laps is the amount of laps you want the car to be trained on. As always, you can select the car and press continue. Once loaded in, you will see a screen very similar to time trial. You will drive the car for a given number of laps depending on how many you chose in the previous section. Drive carefully and avoid collisions because the car is learning based on your driving. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to skip my driving until the end of the race. Once you complete all your laps, the system will prompt the user to release all input, as the car is now in autonomous mode. At the bottom of the screen, the steering and engine output values from the neural network are also visible. Here you will also see the reset car position button, which will reset the position of the car if the car is crashed or if it's stuck. The restart learning button will restart the entire learning process, and you'll be able to drive and train the algorithm again. As always, press escape if you want to return back to the main menu. If you'd like to quit the game, simply press the quit game button, and you'll return back to desktop. Thank you for your attention.